Hey guys, it's Danielle over at DIYDanielle.com. I want to talk about how to make a casing. So these are my casings that I did on these pants, and he will not sit still and come in so I can measure him. So what I did is I actually did the casing and I added an elastic that has holes. These are like little buttonholes. You've probably seen them on kids' pants. Let's see. I don't know if I can get close enough. But they have little holes in them the whole way around. There we are. You just put your elastic around the button, and you can adjust it. Now you don't want your elastic too long because you'll have lots of excess hanging off, which you probably have seen if you've bought like the kids pants that have the elastic bands. So anyways, I did that so that I could just adjust it when if his belly grows, or if he if this is too tight or loose or whatever. So anyways, these are the ones I made for him the other day. So I put together just a quick pair of pants so I could show you how to do a casing. Now I started off, first of all, I whipped up a pair of pants real quick. These are the Walk the Plank pants from Patterns for Pirates. They're free and they're great for Christmas PJs. I'm making them again. My kid wants some pants that he can wear out. And I'm kind of taking that liberally because he's 4 and he can wear whatever he wants. So I'm making cute print pants. He'll appreciate them. My older one probably wouldn't appreciate like a dusty crop hopper all over his pants for school. But while he's 4, I'm going to take advantage. So anyways, all I did was, and I got started a little early because I didn't want to spend forever trying to iron things while we're on the live. But I ironed over just my area for my casing, and a casing is the area that your elastic's going to go through. You have a couple ways of doing it. You can sew your elastic in. I hate that method because you have to stretch it at the same time as you're putting it on, and I don't find that really easy. I've been doing it a little bit more with necklines on shirts and stuff, so I'm getting a little more comfortable with it. But it definitely is not as easy, in my opinion, as doing a casing. And I'm not sure what came through earlier, but like I did all these Christmas pants and I didn't get the right size elastic, or I didn't do the elastic the right size for my kid's waist because I didn't measure them. I just went with the size on the pattern, and it ended up like falling off my kids. So I had to go back through, and I got really lazy because I had sewn the elastic in. So instead of a casing where I could just open up a little bit of the seam, pull the elastic tighter, sew it together, and just snip off the extra, I would have had to go and like seam rip all the way around and resew everything, and it would have taken me probably an hour to get them finished for the two older boys. So I got lazy. I poked a hole in and added another elastic, which is not the right way to do it. But I'm tired, and it's Christmas. It's Christmas season. I'm already like trying to just get things done at this point. So the first thing I went and did is I turned my waistband over twice. So I have the first layer and then I have the second layer. So that way we have no raw edges showing. As you can see, no raw edges. So what I'm going to do to make my casing is I'm just going to sew all the way around. And what you want to do is you want to leave a small opening for you to feed your elastic through. If you were going to do it like I did with the buttonhole, it's a little different. You actually want it to come through something so that I put a hold on. Man, I'm all over the place. Sorry. So for the buttonhole one, I actually put 2 little grommets, not grommets, I forget what they're called, eyelets. And I was like, oh, I'll feed the elastic through these, and then I can just bring my casing. Well, that doesn't work because my safety pins are too big to fit through here. I didn't really think it through very well. So I ended up having to seam rip just a little edge. But I was able to pull my elastic through the eyelets. So this is really appealing because I can again adjust this waistline as much as I need to make sure this fits my son. Which is, again, really nice. You know, they grow. Their waist grows, their height grows. It's nice when you can adjust it a little bit. So anyway, so it's got a little button. For this, you can't close up your casing all the way. You need to have some way to access this your elastic so you can adjust it. So in that case, this is just what I did. I added the eyelets. Ideally, I would have continued to fix the areas that I seam ripped there, but I didn't. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. So, okay. So all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go through around and sew this closed. And I'm going to try to move the camera a little closer so you can see. I tried to make sure that like everything was set up before I did this because I'm not working on a lot of sleep right now. So when you start off, you want to make sure that you backstitch, because this is the area that you're going to leave open to feed your elastic through. So I just try to make sure I go back a little bit so that way the stitches don't rip when I'm going around with my thread. Here is my casing. This is the casing right here. And as you can see, on the inside, I left a small area just to feed my elastic through. And it's actually a pretty good length. So this is my actually my diaper elastic, which I really like. I think it's pretty high quality. So I often use the scraps for clothing, and I just like buying my supplies through them. So I'm gonna, as you can see, this is a huge length, and I'm not gonna cut it yet. With a diaper, I might, just because I usually try to just cut my lengths up ahead of time. But with my pants, I don't want to do that. So I would first find out how big my child's waist is and base the size of it on that. Usually it ends up being smaller than your child's waist because elastic stretches. So you want it to be a little bit stretchy around their waist. But I'm just going to wing it a little here because I'm going to take this apart after and get his measurements later. Hopefully he gets something cool. So I just put my elastic and my safety pin through here. And I'm just going to grab my safety pin and go all the way around. So as you can see, it's bunching up. Now, if I wanted this to not look elasticy, I guess I could pull it all the way through, but you don't want that. You want it to look stretchy, because it won't stay up if the elastic's not pulled tight. These pants look really big if you don't have elastic on them. They're just very baggy. That's how they're made, and it gives them a lot of flexibility if you're using cottons or any sort of woven fabric. Versus knits, they sometimes look a lot smaller because when you're sewing a pattern that's made for knit, you're sewing something that is made to fit tighter, I guess, and the knit itself can stretch, and the stitch on the knit can stretch. If that makes sense, I hope. Okay, so we're at the end of our casing, and here is my safety pin again, and I'm just pulling it out. Now, once I'm done this, I try to sew it flat. Let's see here. Oh man, my baby's sleeping, so it's so exciting. Actually, I'm gonna eyeball this and probably just sew it up, and if it doesn't fit, I can fix it. But so pair of scissors. I'm gonna just cut. This should be the right length. I'm living dangerously. So I'm going to pull this really tight so that I can sew these together. And as you can see, I've overlapped the piece of elastic so that each end is connected, I guess. So I want to sew these together. Now, if you were sewing an elastic in along the side, you would want to use some sort of zigzag. Which may be a good idea with this, but I'm just sewing up and down here, so I can use a straight stitch. I don't think it really is going to affect much. You don't need much give in that area. Yeah, I might. Maybe I'll do a zigzag just in case. I don't know. I don't really know what's correct in this way. I've done it both ways. This is where my tension's off. This should be interesting to see what this is going to look like. Let's see. So I'm not going to sew it just once. I'm going to sew it a couple times. I want to make sure it's really, really going to hold on good, because this area where it's connected is going to get a lot of wear and tear on it. The rest of the elastic, I mean, there's nothing to break really. It can break down over time, but it takes your fabric will break down before this elastic will. In this case, and for cloth diapers, the elastic breaks down before the fabric. But something like this, which the kids beat on, of course, between running around and kneeling down on stuff and all that good stuff, the fabric usually wears out before the elastic does. So I want to sew back and forth a couple times. This just reinforces it so it does not come off, because if it unsnaps, you have to seam rip just a little piece and try to get it back, get the elastic back out, feed it back through again, and then sew it again. I mean, you can do it. It's not a big deal. But I prefer to avoid that. So I kind of over sew. I probably do way more than I need to. But I'm one of those people that sews on the button like over and over again. And there's like so much thread sticking out, but my buttons never come off, so. Okay, so that's actually really good. Okay, so as you can see, it's on nice and tight. It's not giving at all. It doesn't look like it will break. That's really what we're going for. And so I'm going to pull it back. Just pull the elastic back in to the casing where it is out a little, and kind of tuck it back in. And now I just want to close up the small area here that was open. So I'm going to just do, oh, so much of a mess. Oh man. Okay. And then I can just cut my threads off and, wow, there's a lot of thread. Okay. Oh, goodness. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, I now have my waistband all done for my pants. And as you can see, really stretchy. It should have a little bit of give, but not be too tight around his waist. And I'll be able to see if that fits him later, if I need to take it in. All I have to do, again, and this is really a nice benefit to this. This is a very forgiving pattern. Hi. Okay guys, I hope that was helpful and that it was easy to understand. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment, and I will try to answer as best as I can. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a great day, and don't forget to follow my channel or pop over to my blog for more information. Again, it's DIYDanielle.com. What do you think? Bye. Bonk.